Hey guys, my name's Sam. Welcome to PrepMedic. This week's video, we are reviewing the SlingPAK by TraumaPAK. First and foremost, this is going to be your mass casualty bleeding kit. Now it comes in 3 iterations, the kind of basic, intermediate, advanced. This one right here is the basic. It's called their active bystander pack. Now, as you start working your way up to the first responder version and then the medic version, it gets a little bit more diversified on the inside. And you can go on their website and see what comes in each kit specifically. So like I said, this is the active bystander kit. On the outside in the front of it, you can see we have a ton of tourniquets. Now these tourniquets were just used in training today. These are my own kind of old beat up ones that I use for classes. It does come all wrapped up nice and shiny. You don't have to worry about any of this. But right here, you've got 6 tourniquets on the outside in these elastic loops. Now these elastic loops are fixed to the front of this pack, so you can't really change it, but obviously you could put whatever you want in here. Now at the top, it comes with trauma shears. These are the X Shear, which is one of my favorite shears. I've been using them for years, have a review on the channel. I've done actually a lot of stuff with them. Now this holder is kind of cool because it comes off just like that. You could throw something else on here, an identification patch. You could move the shears down below or put this on your kit itself. And part of this device is a lanyard that just helps you retain your shears. If you're anything like me and you've been working in EMS for any amount of time, you lose these things like crazy. And I don't really like losing these shears because they're super nice, they cut really well, and will last you a very long time, unlike some of the disposable shears out on the market. So I actually really like this holder, and the lanyard's nice as well. It comes attached to it, so it's really easy to move, but it's not going anywhere. Even when I pull it out of here, you can see it's not pulling that off the pack at all. Down at the bottom, we have Chem Lights. So Chem Lights are used in a variety of situations. In the mass casualty incident, it can be used to mark a casualty collection point. It can also be used to mark like a safe corridor if you're doing the rescue task force model of active shooter response. This can mark where it's safe to go, where it's been cleared. You know, it kind of depends on your own agency's communication and what they've agreed upon beforehand. Now, the rest of the pack on the outside. Right here, we've got Molly that's exposed, so you can hang different packs on here if you want to run it in a slightly different way, or you want to put like a boo-boo kit on the outside, more tourniquets. If 6 isn't enough, you definitely can do that. And now on the left side of the pack, this is kind of a cool feature, and it's not something I've seen on pretty much anything else. So inside each of these compartments, there is a spool of ribbon, of flagging. And you've got your classic colors for triage. So green, you're walking wounded. Yellow is going to be your delayed, and then your red is going to be your immediate, and then you have your black tags right here. Now, they did white and black. It's just a little bit easier to see, but that is something you'll have to train as a department. If you're used to seeing only black tags, this might be confusing right at first. So what's really cool about these is, hey, I've got a victim, I've got a patient, I've done my assessment, I can start pulling this out and then just break that off, tie this around you know, their hand, their leg, wherever is accessible, and it's really, really easy to see. And I basically have, you know, unlimited ribbons. So back in the day, or I guess still, we have triage cards that have a lot of information in them. I've been on a couple mass casualty incidents, and honestly, I've never filled out one of those cards. We just use them for the color designation, and this is gonna work really well. When they get to that secondary triage or their treatment area, that's where you could start filling out that card to like get a little bit more information on that patient. So really cool here. And then, like I said, you can just pull these out and replace them if they run empty, or replace them with your own colors. One kind of off-brand use I could see with this is like a SAR use. You use a lot of flagging to show the way. You could also use this to mark safe corridors, anything like that. So really cool feature on the side of this pack right here. Now coming to the back, we've got 3 really heavy-duty handles here. We can just carry this pack in. And then we have the sling strap, which has more MOLLE if you want to put, you know, flashlights, identification, anything on the front. And you have 2 pockets, one on the bottom, one on the top. The one on the top has all of your PPE for this kit. So this one looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of Talon nitrile gloves just packed to the top. You can obviously put more in the bottom compartment if you really want. All right, so let's go into this pack a little bit and see what it actually carries for more supplies. So in here, you'll notice some red splotches. This is from a training, totally simulated blood. I swear it's not real. But up here, we have a bunch of space blankets. So right here, these guys all come out. Now, these are the compact space blankets. You know, I talk about hypothermia a lot on this channel. If your body temperature falls below that like 95 degrees, you're gonna start developing coagulopathy really quickly. And in trauma, your body tries to go poikilothermic. It can no longer regulate its own temperature. So maintaining a victim's heat loss or maintaining a victim's heat is really, really important with these blankets. So you have a ton of them. You can hand them out. You know, basically any bystander would be able to take this out and know you lay it on top of the patient. Not really rocket science. All of these pouches are detachable. So if you want to put something else there, you absolutely can. With some of their other models of this kit or some of the other levels, they'll have like your ARS needles will be Velcroed right here, anything like that. So pretty easy to customize this anywhere you want. If you want these up here, these down here, you want one less, it's totally okay. Now down here, we've got a bunch of hyphen chest seals. The actual numbers, I'm not going to quote this to you because I'll get it wrong. Just know it's got a lot of hyphen chest seals in it. And I doubt you will go through these even on a mass casualty incident, but you never know. All right, down in this next pocket, we've got your S-rolled gauze. So this is just plain packing gauze from North American Rescue. Now, like most distributors, I believe, these could come with a variety of different brands if one's out or one's not. You know, since basically the start of the Ukraine war, we've been seeing kind of rolling shortages of certain supplies. So right now this one has NAR S-rolled, and I believe he tries to keep them in here. Now, that's one point I want to make about this kit. It even says it on his website. If you want this stocked a little bit atypical, if you're like, hey, I like this whole thing, but I don't like this brand, I don't like cat tourniquets, I want, you know, soft T-wides, I want, you know, the TMT or something on here. You just put it right in your order. There's a place to mark it, or even if you want to specify color of tourniquet, and he'll reach out to you and he'll get that going. So it's really cool. You can kind of customize this kit however you want. These are just kind of the base supplies that come with it. All right, now coming into the body of the pack. Down here, you've got your good stuff. This is all your packing gauze. So we've got a number of LE quick clot here, and then you've got this stuff. So the only difference between these two, this has a little bit more in it than this guy right here, and then there's a variety of both in the pocket, but there's still plenty. And like I've talked about and kind of, I've beaten this dead horse a lot, this packing gauze, this unimpregnated gauze is very, very effective for wound packing. So while your quick clot is your gold standard for packing, if you run out of this because there's less of this in here, you can go to this gauze and it's gonna work just fine. So coming up right here, we have this elastic wrap. This is essentially ACE wrap. We can use this to wrap in packing gauze, wrap head wounds, a lot of different uses. Now, while this elastic wrap right here, or these elastic loops are not customizable, I can't pull them out, this pouch down here is. And you'll notice on the side, there are actually additional elastic loops. You could put some different supplies in it. Now, last but not least, up here, we've got a couple different iterations of the emergency trauma dressing by North American Rescue. So right here, we've got the 4-inch flat, 4-inch ETD. So these are gonna work a little bit better than your elastic wrap for like the head wounds because they do have a pad on them. You can really kind of crank them down, put that over the wound, and it's not gonna stick to anything. And you've got a ton of these secured at the top of the pack. One thing on the back that I forgot to mention earlier is this long pocket. Now this has a couple things in it. Really the usable supply in here is going to be this micro litter. Which this unfolds and you can use it as a 4-person lift. It lifts pretty heavy people, or it has 2 drag straps on it. So if you have to drag with the litter, it's a little bit easier to drag with one of these under a patient than just having like grabbing their plate here or something like that. Lets you be up in a standing up position, and then you could share the load with somebody else right next to you. It all packs down in this bag, very, very compact. We use this probably a dozen to 2 dozen times today, lifting, carrying different patients, and it held up really, really well. There's no damage to it, even though we were in kind of rocky, silty terrain. So if you guys are interested in checking out this pack, I will leave a link down below. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next week.